All right, so thank you very much for, Doreen and Philip for your, expectations. Please keep them coming in the chat so that we can be able to align and make this worthwhile. Make your time count. I'll go right ahead and, yeah, just to say that this program, we've decided to have, we understand that personal financial management is not an event. We've been doing so many one-off sessions, but the Equity HR team and Minet decided to curate something to meet all our staff because we're all at different levels. Some of us want to learn how to protect the income that we make. Some of us want to learn how to make it grow and leverage cash flows. How best can we do that with the little resources that we have? Some of us want to know how we can retire right. So this program is an all-inclusive program to meet everyone where they are. And one day I may be in one level, but I need to know how do I get to the other level which I aspire to be at. And we are all walking our individual journeys. This is not a one-size-fits-all. This is not cast in stone. So this is not a get-rich-quick program. It's really for us to synthesize, understand our habits, and know how we get to our desired financial lifestyle. So this is what this program will cover, and I expect to see each one of us here so that we can be able to improve on ourselves. So the first session will cover a personal health check. We all go to doctors once in a while and want to know how our health stands. But how many of us pause and see see how pause to just understand how our health, our personal financial health really stands? How many of us do that? Or are we just going by the motions? Yeah, living paycheck to paycheck. When we get a windfall, we spend it. Are we just going through the whims of life and not being very intentional about it? Maybe we want to do it, but we don't know how to do it. So I know that the last session was really about our money habits, our money behaviors. And I just want to take this opportunity now for us to go deep down and understand what informs the way we spend, what informs the way we treat our money. Because show me where your money goes, then I'll show you what behaviors, what money behaviors we all exhibit. And we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. We all have our desired positions, and we fall short many times because money is a scarce resource. It's finite, yet we have infinite needs. So even before we get into the gist of this, I want us to examine ourselves by doing kind of a sentiment survey. A sentiment survey where all of us can be able to understand why we do what we do. Yeah. So I'm going to put this survey in the chat, and we'll be able to all know, because remember, this is a personal journey. This is a personal journey, so it's not, we cannot copy, and all of us know where we are and where we want to go. I'm going to put this survey in the chat so that please let me know if you can access it, so that all of us can fill it in and get the results, because those results are personal results. And then when we go into the 4-session series, all of us know what we want to work on. Some of us want to work on our savings journey. Some of us want to work on our budgeting. Some of us want to work on our investment journey. Some of us want to work on our retirement journey. So this brief survey will help all of us know where we are, so that we are very deliberate on, after these 4 sessions, what is the one thing that I must work on? Okay. Are we able to I'm going to give you 5 minutes so that you can be able to access that link, all of us, and do the survey. Okay. So the 5 minutes start now. Stop sharing for now as we do the survey. Please do the survey. Are we able to do the survey? Please put a thumbs up so that I can know if we are good. thumbs up if we can do the survey. Paul, is the link accessible? I'm not seeing any communication. Oh, good. So why it's important for us? Yes, this presentation these sessions are
from the chat. I do have comments.
Yes. Yeah, what I was trying to put perspective is that everyone is walking their journey. The principles are the same, but we are all at different levels. So it's my intention for us to have customized journeys. Even as I'm speaking, we need to know who is in the room, where are we? Even when you ask questions, now you'll be very deliberate on which questions you're asking. Yeah. Okay, I can see some responses coming through. All right, so I'm going to get back into the session. So like I said, this survey is really to help us measure our feelings and attitudes towards money and our level of confidence when making financial decisions. So it really asks you how you feel about some financial decisions when we interact with them. When we understand the relationship of our money better, and the emotions involved when we're handling finances, then we are better equipped to be in the steering wheel and not be a slave to money. All right. Yeah, so thank you for filling that in. Thank you for filling that in. I want to just ask people from the team, what did you learn about yourself when you filled in the financial sentiment survey? Any volunteers who would like to share? Hello? Paul, am I muted?
Your audio is perfect. We can hear you very well.
Okay, so Agnes says that she has learned that she has control over her financial well-being. Thank you, Agnes. If you want to elucidate on that, please feel free to unmute and say something about that. Anyone else would like to share? Dennis says he's confident about his financial well-being. Dennis, if you want to explore or to share more about that. Yeah, so the score is just an indicator, but also you as a person, how did this survey make you feel? What did you learn about yourself? I also want to encourage all of us to share, because this is a journey where no one has the marking script. Yeah, we don't have the marking script, we have a guide. And some people are better at some things than others, but this is an opportunity for us to share and bring it all together. It's a support group. Okay. Team equity. Talk to me. Anyone who is using the chat, please use the chat as much as possible so that we can be able to move, but know also that, we are, we're communicating. All right. So after we've known what are, money habits are, what our emotions attached with money are, it's then important then to relate and say, why do I behave like that? What's my story? And all of us, we have 86 people in the room. These are 86 individual stories as to why we behave how we behave around money. So what's your story? If there's anyone who wants to share their money journey, please put up your hand and then we can give you. But from where I sit and connecting to the last session that we had, we know that money affects all aspects of our well-being. It affects our emotions. We're emotional beings. It affects the sense of our well-being. That's why we're seeing so many, people. You find someone leaving the ATM and asking themselves, where did the money go? Meanwhile, you're the one who got to the ATM, put in your mobile money, you put in your PIN, and somehow the money just, left your pocket because you had so many things to spend on. So then it affects our mood. And then before we know it, it's affecting our health. Yeah. And health is not just physical health, it's also mental health. So we have to be mindful and take charge of our emotions that, govern the way we relate around money, so that then we can take charge and be in the driving seat. We should never be slaves to money. Money is just a tool and a means to an end. So once we understand, and that survey really helps everyone understand their journey. And I want to quickly, brief us on what the scores really mean. If our scores was between 0 to 1, it just means that we are confident and secure about the financial decisions we make. We don't get stressed by financial matters. If our score is between 12 to 24, it really means that we are not so confident about our current financial situation. It's not there, but yeah, we tend to be ticked off when we get things which don't seem to be under control. If our score is 25 to 37, it really just means that we're not confident about our financial decision making. We're really anxious, and this can easily tip us into getting stressful situations. So let's be mindful of where we are. This is a guide. It's not cast in stone. And it's really just to help us, empower us, make better financial decisions, know why we do certain things so that we can try to, govern ourselves better and not let money lead us into certain pitfalls. But so what if our score is 0 to 11 or 35 or 25? It really just means that from today onwards, we know where we are, we know why we do what we do. So we have the chance to start afresh. 5 plus 5 is 10, 9 plus 1 is 10. So it doesn't matter where you are, but the fact that we now know, we're aware, it means that we can make the deliberate decision to go to our destination that we desire. So run your race. It's not a matter of comparing. It's really, what do I need to do to get to the next level? Okay, and I don't want to spend much time on understanding our money behaviors because we did it last time with Coach Esther, but it's important again to be aware of why we do, why our money behaviors, why do I feel bad when I'm buying a bottle of water or having a cup of coffee? Is it because of how my parents, influenced me? Is it because of my peers, my close associates, my friends, my teachers? Because from birth, we are forming our money behaviors from events that happen around us, from the people that we are, from circumstances that we are in. So this really defines where we are and what to do, things that we do. But it does not mean that that is how we are. No, it just means that we are aware of it and we can do something about it. So from the financial sentiment survey, all of us can now know why our behaviors are like that and what really informs that. And then we can now start to chart out a way to move forward. Again, I know that we did manuscripts, but again, it's important that all of us can relate to the different manuscripts. I know that Coach Esther talked about this, but are you in the money avoidance? Money is bad, money is evil? Are you in the money worship scripts? You know, money solves all problems. I don't have to do anything. I don't need to be on merit. Money will solve my problems. Is it a status symbol whereby we have to have the best possessions to know that we count in society? Or are we in the money vigilant quadrant? Okay. If we can know where we are, not any one script is bad. Again, we should use these scripts to understand our current spending habits, our saving habits, our investment habits, and our giving habits. If there are questions on this, I can answer, but I know that this is something that was ably covered by the previous session. I'm happy to answer any questions if they're there. I just wanted to recap because this is really a sequel to where we're going in terms of understanding our current financial situation. But here I want to just pause and say, can we identify this manuscript? First of all, do we know what this picture is? It was a recent photo. Anyone who can unmute and tell us what it is? And how you can, how do we identify with this manuscript? What do we learn from this? Anyone? Paul, are people there?
Yes, the team is alive. We do have George Emokol. George Emokol, you should be having the permission to unmute and share something on what we're seeing.
Yes, George, please go ahead.
Okay, we have
yes, please.
Okay, we have Paul Mugera.
Yes, yes, Paul.
Paul Mugera, kindly go ahead and unmute. Okay, maybe as they get, okay, Nicholas, you've been given the mic. Please just unmute and just share briefly.
Okay, the burial of the former president of UAE.
Okay. What does this picture, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. What does it say?
It says that in spite of everyone having a lot of money, at the end of that day, all of us shall be in that box.
Okay. Anyone else? So this gentleman was worth $18 million. But look at how simple the send-off was. Beautiful, simple, nothing else, extravagant. Yeah. So again, he could have wanted to be buried on the moon, but this is it. Yeah. So sometimes manuscripts are manifested in the way we relate with money or in the way we think our friends relate with money. What we say, what we think really just amplifies what our manuscript is. So I just wanted to, bring this, which is live, and we know, how do you compare this to how we see things happening here in Uganda? What's the manuscript? Yeah, what's our manuscript as a nation, as a people? What can we change? We have young generation that we are grooming. How can we influence them better to be stewards of the resources that have been given to us? Okay, so this is a point where we can now stop blaming our parents, our friends, our teachers for the way we behave with money and own our story. So at this point in time, again, we need to, to draw attention to the power that we have as a people to direct our story and not be, not blame, for fathers, our peers, our workmates, our employers. Yeah, this is the time to now say, I own my journey. I know what my strengths are, my weaknesses. I know what my money manuscript is. This is what I want because this is where I want to go. So at this point in time, it's good for us to, redesign our vision board. What are your dreams? Yeah, and how do you know your dreams? What are the things that make you happy? What are the things that bring you joy? Is that where your money goes? Is that where your time is allocated? The biggest time of your day is allocated? Yes, we work 8 to 5. So 8 hours of our day we're at work. The other 8 hours, we are sleeping. What are we doing in the other 8 hours? That's the difference between people who own their story and people who keep whining and blaming their relatives or the government or the economy, or, there are two sides of the coin. We all have the same hours in a day. So how are we using those other hours? So just a quick tip on how we can know if we are on track with our financial dreams is really every one of us on this call, list down the things that bring you joy. Yeah. How much time do you then devote to these things? How much money do you allocate to these things? Because remember, you have to make your life count. We're all working, wake up early in the morning, live, build very beautiful homes, go back late, you don't even enjoy the homes. But what are the things that bring you joy? At least we should be intentional on diverting our resources to things that, make us whole, so that we are not into a remorseful situation. We're not cursing, we're not blaming the economy or blaming our employer for not increasing our salaries. We can blame everyone, but the economy we're in is the same economy we're in, at least me and you. So how do we make it count? Yes. So, if you can list those things, then I can be able to introduce the next section on, okay, so where do we stand? Where do you and I stand on this scale? If you went to a doctor, to do your medical exam, a full thorough check, you're not sick, but you just want to find out how you're doing. We are going to do that exercise in a few so that we can understand where we are and where we want to go, understand the gap, and then be able to apply, the learnings to close that gap. At the end of these sessions, it would be really great for each one of us to have one thing which we want to do so that we can, get successful and then be able to amplify the learnings in other aspects of our lives. Okay, any questions on this point? Anyone who wants to volunteer, the things that bring you joy, since you've been noting them down. Hello? Talk to me. Anyone in the chat? Because after this session, then after the, jotting down the things that bring us joy and how much time we devote to them, this is a personal exercise. I mean, you cannot look at your neighbor's script. All of us have our different journeys. But then we need to reflect on what are those things? How much time do we devote to them? How much money do we allocate to them? And we may not know, but this is the first step to, just think through our spending habits. Are they fueling the things that, give us joy, give us purpose, give us a sense of living, or we don't even know where our money goes? Okay, I see some chats. So a good health and well-being will bring me joy. For me, having a good health, good. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now that we know our manuscripts, yeah, again, it's important for us to get one thing that we'll be able to work on in this journey. And I'm happy to work with each one of you. If there's that one thing you've identified, what is it? What does it look like? And to put this in perspective, it's now the time for us to ascertain our current financial situation by, using what we call a personal living balance sheet. I'll give you a background as to why it's a living balance sheet. I'm a finance professional that's my career. And in all my life, I've been trying to, make sure that the P&L and balance sheet and cash flow statement and strategic intent of shareholders and management is aligned. Budget controls. My work really revolves around ensuring that budgets are met, cost controls are on point. We're finding efficient ways of doing things for that business. So now we're using we're just transposing that same discipline into our personal lives to say, okay, what does my personal balance sheet look like? And what's in a balance sheet? It's really it's a statement that gives us a snapshot of our position at any one point in time. Many of us have different sources of income. We have different places we spend, but we have no clue how everything comes together. Then when we go to our snapshot of our financial position, people have bought land, they have several land titles, people buy stocks here and there, people are investing in this business, this partnership and that, but you don't have a one place where you can go and see these things. So, how am I advancing? Am I balanced? Is my portfolio okay? Yet these are things we do in our jobs. For example, me who is a finance person, these are things we do every day. You wake up every morning, find what did we make yesterday? How can we improve? What analytics are we seeing? Which portfolio is not working well? Which segment should we be focusing on? And these are things that then we talk about in management meetings and with our direct reports so that we can improve the performance of a business. So now the 132 people on this call are all CEOs of, for example, I'm a CEO of Monica Limited. All of us we have 133 business entities on this forum. So how well do you know your financial position at any one point in time? If there's anyone who can share how they keep it all together without scampering in this document, making that phone call, please be my guest, unmute and share how you do it. But the purpose of this exercise is to really do that, transpose everything we do for our companies, for our businesses into our own lives. Many times we've seen people who lead finance functions, people who, all of us who work, we gain we are proud of where we work because of the work we do. We get all the promotions, but when we go into our lives, it's a disappointment. We can't show everything that we've worked for. So this is a chance for us to bring it all together and have things in one place so that at any one time you can know which portfolio to stop investing in, which loans not to go after, which businesses to go after, because you're seeing the return on investment in one place. Okay, so I would like to share my screen and share what a living balance sheet looks like. And after, can you see it loading? Paul, can you see the Excel?
Yes.
Okay, so this is really a guide. Again, I keep saying it's not cast in stone. It's really a guide, yeah, to show us, to help us have all our financial information in one place. And because you're going to have all the financial information in one place, it's important that you keep it secure, encrypt it, because you don't want people to, to be in your business, but you also need to steer your business and know what you have, when you have it, what you need to deal when you have information. So every time our information is in one place, it becomes easier to manage. And these are just guiding blocks, yeah? So the first page really shows what are the benchmarks, so that when you fill in your information, you can know how far off you are from the benchmark. And it's just a benchmark. You could set your own. So again, feel free to make this as personal and intimate as possible. So guidelines, how do we budget? There's a 50-20-20 rule. Align your budget to support your needs, 50%, your wants, 20%, your areas of growing your cash flow, which is saving or investing, 20%, and giving, 10%. Is that what the case is? So this template, this living balance sheet helps you align yourself based off the threshold, but you can define your own threshold. It's really just a guide. What's your saving ratio? For us to be able to devote 20% of our income to savings or investments, we need to have a 20% saving ratio. 20% of our income should be able to be saved diligently. Yeah. How are we doing with our household costs? Is our rental costs within the 30% threshold? These are just guiding principles on how we budget and how we spend. Then when we go to our savings journey, remember this is an entire journey from, how you earn, how you protect, how you save, how you leverage, how you grow, and how you plan for the later years. So what's the size of your savings, of your emergency fund? How about your short-term savings? Many times we want to have a wedding of a lifetime, but we think we just want to wish it out, to wish it to happen, and relying on other people's pockets to fund it. But this is our wedding. So if you know you want to have a wedding, how are you preparing for it? How are you preparing to have 70% of your budget so that you don't belabor people with funding your entire budget? 10% of your savings going to long term. How are you doing this? If you have a pension scheme at work, how are you maximizing it so that you can be able to create a safety nest when your employer is also matching it? And I know Equity has very good employee schemes. How are you leveraging it? Car expenses. How are we being modest in this very tight economy? Some of us, our car expenses are in the 30% range of our income. That's not sustainable. Yeah. So this guide just helps us know which part we have to touch. Where is it itching the most, so that we can do the one big thing that will unlock our potential to get to where we want to be. So then there's also the financial dream. What is it that makes you happy? That is really what you should be aiming for. Then also the daily expense tracker, for us to understand. Some of us have not been in a habit of budgeting, but we can know from today. We know when I woke up, how much have I spent from the time I woke up to now? You keep doing this, then you can know what your daily burn rate is against what your daily income is. And we're going to expound on these tools. We're going to use this tool throughout the session. So I'm just giving a preamble, then I'll send it through so that you can start to populate it with your information. And then we can make the next sessions really count, because we're now moving from a personal position. So then the P&L, this is like a P&L for a business, but now you're the CEO of this business. What it really just captures what your salary is, your other sources of income, what your expenses are. Are you in a rat race or not? Really, being in a rat race is really when you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're only relying on your salary. So this gives us the opening of where we are and what we need to do to fast track coming out of the rat race. Then it also records our outflows. Where do we spend our money? So it just has, I've tried to capture as much as possible, but it has space for you to capture the different aspects. At the end of the day, it will show you here whether your monthly operating cash flow is positive or negative. For example, are you spending more than you're earning, or are you earning are you spending less than you're earning? So that then you deliberate on what action you would like to take over the next 4 sessions, okay? And then obviously then it goes into your balance sheet, the one that shows you a snapshot of your assets and liabilities at any one time. This has been a crash, but it's a 101 course, like it says. I'm going to share this template. You fill in what you have, and as we go along, you'll be owning this template as your company, yeah, Monica Limited, for if it's me. So don't worry about me rushing it. You have time to personalize this. But again, this really helps you know, if you're buying stocks, when did you last buy the stocks? What was the value? What's the current stock value? How much have you lost? Yeah, depending on what you bought at and where it is. What do you need to do? If you want to trade all your properties that you have, put all your properties one place. If you want to trade, you know, I bought it at this is the time that has passed. This is how I need to, to deal it, so that you're organized and you're not caught off guard. And then you have leverage and, to be able to turn your assets into more earning assets and not just idle assets. Okay, so I would like to pause there and give a chance for questions, if any. Our session today was really introductory, just to let us know what we're going to cover, give us some tools to assess ourselves, and also give us something that will be a document that will guide the discussions as we go ahead.